Hello guys, and welcome to another Blender tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be doing something different. I'm going to um, try and show you guys how to make something like dirt deforming when a character is walking on it, or mud, or let's say a big guy punching a wall and you want the wall to displace with the punch instead of creating shape keys and stuff. Um, this modifier, which is the um, dynamic paint modifier, it can be used for a lot of other things like simulating an ocean where the boat is busy going through the ocean. It could make the waves and deform um, the sea, whatever. Anyway, so on top of that, I'm going to do this example just with a basic plane and a ground texture and then a ball or sphere that we're going to drag through just to show you how it works. And then as well, we're going to give the ball and the ground material, and I'm going to show you how to make the ground material rub off onto the ball wherever the ball is touching it. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. Let's bring in a plane here. I'm just going to scale it maybe like 5 and just clear the rotation and scale. Control A. I guess I can enable screencast keys, although I've got a really terrible version of it. I can't change any sizes or place where it pops up. Anyway, so here we've got our plane. Let's subdivide this guy. So I'm pressing W, subdivide, and in the T properties panel over here, if this is closed down, you just have to click on this arrow here, or plus sign, sorry, and we're going to change this to, let's say, 30 cuts. Should be fine for now. We can always go back and add some more. Then I'm gonna just add on a second layer here our sphere, a UV sphere, and yeah, we might as well just leave this like that. I don't care. Put a subdivision surface on it and smooth shading. Cool. So this is going to be our ball. Let's maybe scale it down a bit, something like that, and clear the scale, and let's just start it up here. Anyway, okay, so coming back to the ground layer here, let's give it a subdivision surface as well. Bump it up to 2, and let's give it a material and call this ground. Okay. So in the node editors, I just have one set up for myself. You just split your screen in half and then split the top in half. One side is a UV image editor and the other side is a 3D view, and below we've got the node editor. Okay, so really basic material. I'm not gonna go and create any complex textures here. So yeah, from CG textures, you can just type that in on Google, create an account, and you have like 1K free textures that you can download. And we're just gonna get sand here. I think I have sand somewhere. I don't really like the sand. Let's look for dirt maybe. Okay, so just to make this look better, I'm gonna add in texture coordinates and a mapping node, and I don't know, let's see what object does first. And I'm just going to material here to have a look. So I guess that's fine. I'm not even gonna make any changes to that. that's fine. So that's our ground material done. Let's just switch to the ball from here. And for the ball, it's going to be even more basic. So we'll just name this ball. And I'm just going to give the ball color. So let's make the ball, I don't know, something that's going to make it clearly visible when this rubs off. So I'm just going to make it a bluish purple. Yeah, let's just make it bright as hell. Okay, so just to prepare for later, let's bring in a shader, a mix shader. Okay, and let's bring in, that's all. Okay, so let's just keep that here for now. And yeah, now we can start the process. So we're going to begin by just going onto the floor plane, and let's just name this floor here and floor. Okay, so on the floor plane, we're going to go here into the physics tab and add dynamic paint. Okay, and we want this to be a canvas. And first thing we're going to change here is change it from paint to displace. Okay, so I'm going to open up a timeline here quickly, just to do something very basic. Actually, let's bring in a dope sheet. Okay, so I'm going to grab the ball. Let's go from the front, top view. Let's start it like somewhere here. And let's add in a keyframe. So I'm going to say I location. And then we're going to move up like 10 frames and just drag it maybe somewhere there. I location. Yeah, if I had a timeline here, I could put automatic keyframing, but anyway, this is fine. And now we can do some weird stuff here. So let's press shift up, and it should go 10 frames. And let's just take this like here, shift. Oh, sorry, I forgot to key that. Take that like here, I location, shift up, I location, shift up. Okay. No. Bring that here. Let's just do it like one more time. Location, and just bring it across the screen here. Okay, so now we've got a very weird animation here. I just hit Control Shift down to bounce back to the beginning. Press Alt A, and there we've got our animation. So why not? We could always go in the curves and make this smoother and stuff, but maybe what we can do is select all and hit E. Hang on. E there, E there. So E just like shifts it. It's much better than scaling when you're working in the timeline or node editor. And that just added some more time, so it takes longer to reach the end. Cool. And now that we have that, and this is set as our canvas, we can put the end frame on 109 here. We set it on displace. What we can do is add this ball to a group, and it's just smart to do this in case you have many objects and certain of them will be displacing and others won't, so that you can just make groups so that you know which will become a brush and which wouldn't. So let's say ball dash brush. Okay, cool. And now we can go back in here and make sure we've got the ball brush here. And now we can go to the ball, do the same thing, but change it to brush here and do that. And yeah, all of this should be done now. So if we play, we should immediately start to see the displacement happening. So if we go onto the plane and hit smooth shading, we've got smooth shading. And if we come here and bring up the substep, so let's say maybe 2, and play it now it will take a bit longer because we're going to have a much smoother deformation happening here. Another thing we can do is play with the displace factor here, and this can be animated as well. So here you can change how much it's being displaced. So yeah, don't undo because then you have to rerun the simulation. I think you also have a max displace here, which might, I think, just give you a variation in displacement. So let's put that up and see what happens now. So I'm not seeing much difference. Let's see if we bump this up like crazy. Okay, so anyway, let's leave that on 1. I don't know what it does. I haven't played with many things. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is do the reverse. Okay, so now we want the ball to become a canvas as well, and we want to keep it on paint here. Okay, and then we want to turn this guy into a group as well and call it dirt brush. Sorry, I need to create a new one. Call this dirt brush. Okay, and now we can go back in here, put in the dirt brush. It's going to be for the paint. We can do the sub steps as well here, and then we want to turn this guy into a brush. We want to make it completely white here. You'll see why later. And yeah, so then we can go back to the brush here, which is the ball this time. We want to change, we don't have a wet map, so we want a paint map. To have the paint map, we need to create a vertex color. So here, and call this dirt. I don't know, let's just call it dirt, and change this to the dirt map here. Then we come, I don't think we do, yes, here we do vertex color like that. This would be effects, I'm not going to use that now. And then we've got the baking to do. Let's run this quickly here and see what happens. Okay, so displaced, well, we've got the white here on the ball like that. Okay, yeah, so if I read here, it makes me remember, or it reminds me, sorry, sure, that's terrible, that we need to save this file. So I'm just going to save this onto my desktop here, call this dynamic paint test. Okay, cool. So now that it's saved, we can bake. So that's what we want to do. So let's bake it. So I'm gonna cancel, sorry. I forgot to stop this on 109. So 109, free the bake. And just another thing I'd like to do, I want the ball to have a rotation here as well, and over to here. We want to change this to normal. So let's look at it in texture. There it is. It should be rotating. And then to the next one here, let's rotate it. That way, 360. And then while it's coming here, we'll rotate it just for fun this way. Put the rotation and just take that to the end one. Okay, so now anyway we've got a rotating ball. It's better. Now we can bake it. Okay, so now before this works, because as you can see and as you would see doing this with your own characters, the moment you turn a character or an object into the brush, your texture is gonna change. Your material won't look the same on this character, and don't be afraid when that happens. It's normal, it will happen. So let's add in a lamp quickly, just the basic sun. I'm not going to do any crazy lighting stuff here, just put in a sun. And now we need to work on the material for the ball here, since we want this to rub off. So first thing we can do is just go in here into the node editor, select all of this, control copy. Okay, now we can go to the balls material and control paste. Cool. So now we've got this here. Okay, and next thing we want to do is vertex color. Shift A, input vertex color, bring in the dirt here. Bring in the dirt. Okay, so now we drop this in the top. That's the blue of our ball. Drop the shader or the dirt material at the bottom and bring in the color here as the mix faculty or the mask basically. And that's it. That's it. So yeah, let's do a render. So let's go to render settings. I'm not going to do many samples. That's fine. You should never do this, but I'm just gonna output this to a video file or video format. Change the encoding to H.264 MP4 and change my output. I'm gonna put this on my desktop as well. Just dynamic paint. Okay, and yeah, now we just need to render this, I think. So just to do a test, I'm going to press Alt A to let it do its thing, and then I'm going to press Control B here and press Shift C. Okay. So I hid away like most of my scene. Anyway, it seems like our ball here is dirt from the start, so um, let's try and fix that quickly. See if we render here, it's dirt immediately. Let's have a look at our mask here in material view. So that's our mask, and when it starts to play, it's not changing. Why? That's working, that's fine. Hang on. Okay, so it doesn't look like our mask rate 12 for some reason. That's initial color. Let's try and bake this again. Just have a sip of water. Now let's try and have a look at this mask again. That's very, very annoying. Ah, that's what I want to see. Why are you black here? So I guess the ball is definitely turning and still we're not having the deformation. Okay, so I still don't see what's going on here. Let me just have a proper look in here quickly. Because it's by these settings. Initial color, black. Yeah, okay, I want the initial color to be black, sorry, because I'm making the color be white of the texture that's going to be rubbed off on the dirt. So to create the mask, he needs to be black, and where he's going to be touching, it's going to be white, and that's how the vertex color would be used as a mask. Okay, so I hope so. Let's bake it again. Luckily it's not taking too long. Of course, this takes longer and longer, all depending on the sub steps you have. Okay, so great. There you can see we've got our mask painting there. And another thing, we might as well come and take this out too, just to get it done, so there's no need to redo that every time I restart the animation. And now just to double check this material here, so I've got the blue, I've got that, make sure I just want to re-add that just in case it didn't update. And yeah, now if we do this, play, let it do its thing. It's a bit weird though, right? I mean, it's rubbing off quite weird. Let's go to a previous frame where it had some more white on it. That's terrible. It's like it's not even rotating either. Use logarithmic drying makes high values. How you want it to dry? Approximately in how many frames should drying happen? Color dry. The wetness level when color starts to shift to the background. I don't know what the hell that is. Maybe this is the problem here. I don't know. Maybe this dude here. Let's apply this. Why not? Let's give it more geometry. And then let's redo our bake again. Might even take longer this time. That's not that bad. So sorry this is taking so long. I really thought it would turn out to be faster. I don't know. The paint seems to be rubbing off really bad. And this ball is supposed to be rotating. I have no idea why. I'm sure I made this thing rotate more than that. That's on the x-axis. Y-axis. So you really don't need to do what I'm doing here. I'm just hoping this is gonna change with the reaction of this ball. So, and yeah, so let's go back to the dope sheet. Okay, so if this doesn't look good, yeah, then I don't know, because it doesn't look like it's really rubbing off well, so there might be something wrong with the settings, but this gives you an idea of what it should be doing. And yeah, so that's the end of the tutorial. I really don't know why this thing is shit like that. Um, Hang on, I just want to try one more thing because I really don't know why it's acting like that. Maybe because why is it now it wants to be completely black? Black. Why is it showing the dirt like that? Anyway, I'm gonna just give it a new one. And let's put a lot of substeps maybe. Hopefully this doesn't crash, so let's just save before I hit bake. So yeah, it's taking a bit longer. Maybe the animation's happening really fast, so it needs more substeps to be able to calculate really how this thing is rubbing off. I don't know. Uh, Maybe not, because it's not changing anything at all. Let's change that up again and do the same thing. I'm just gonna add another subdivision surface here and then start. Wait. Okay, so this time it's really taking its time. Hopefully it does a better job because it's really annoying. I've done this before and it worked really fine for me. I used my character. I didn't use a wall and stuff, so I don't know if it changes anything. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't look like that changed anything at all. Okay, so we've got some more happening there. That's like super weird, isn't it? It's like my material's wrong somehow. Ah, yeah. We're using the wrong vertex color now. Dirt new. Drop that shit in. So yeah, it's quite sad that this thing's not having a stronger effect. It seems like wherever it's painting, it's just disappearing again or cutting through and touching only on certain parts for some reason. But that's how you displace your ground. It's very simple actually, and this is supposed to be how you rub off the texture as well. But yeah, anyway, I hope that was useful, and yeah, I'd like to see many projects like where people use this because it's something people don't use and it's a very nice feature. I think it could possibly even be used like if two characters are fighting to create impact or deformation on the face. I mean, you could easily shape key that, but maybe it would be more natural when you do it like this. Anyway, bye guys.